Welcome to Pub Talk, the unofficial official craft beer podcast of Oklahoma, where we're all about the three B's, beer buddies and bullshit. I'm Jeremy, and I'm joined as always by a guy who may have squealed getting to go out on the field, but make no mistake, the highlight of our trip was still getting to partake delicious craft beers. Michael.
Hello, hello.
On today's show, we'll talk about our 300th episode beer, our trip to Texas last week, and some recent beer news. If you like what you hear, make sure you press that subscribe button wherever you're listening or watching so you never miss an episode. Follow us on social media at Pub Talk Podcast and check out the website, pubtalkpodcast.com. All right, let's get started with first round.
You know, they brew 10,000 bottles of beer a day. I drink 45 off the assembly line, and I'm the asshole.
So I would venture a guess we're both drinking beer not from Oklahoma today, given we bought a lot of beer from Texas last week.
Drink.
What are you drinking?
Well, I have two beers again for totally
different. Samesies.
Like we're doing a Texas show, might as well have Texas beer. And plus, this first one is probably gonna be gross. I know that you think it's gross, or you didn't like it at least. It is from Martin House, and everybody, if you're watching the show, you probably know about Martin House, and they make mild spirit. This one is called Ice Big Top Cookies, and it's just what you think. It's got those fucking little cookies. Used to love them as a kid. Got hooked on them again when Amelia was like 3, and then stopped. So I'm hoping this is fucking delicious. It tastes just like it. Only thing is, it smells fucking disgusting. But I hope it's good. 8% ABV. Chicken beer. Did I say all that? Cookie beer brewed with sprinkles, icing, and lactose. My favorite thing in a beer, lactose.
Yuck.
Oh, fuck. I think I might, well, no, let me drink it first before I. Yep. Okay. So this glass is fitting. It's my Chappelle glass. I don't know if you can read that. Can't read it.
Can't read it.
Fuck.
It's not focusing.
That's the front of it. And the back says this beer tastes like Buck Nasty Mama's bathwater. And that might be fitting. If your mom also like doused her body in sugar or something before she jumped in the bathtub.
I don't know what she did.
That's just not good. I mean, it's not. It actually didn't taste like it smelled, which is really weird. How does it not taste like? I don't know how to describe that. It almost tastes like nothing too. It tastes like nothing and gross at the same time. There's like no weight to it at all, no body. But it doesn't taste like those cookies. And I'm kind of disappointed because I thought that their beer tasted like that shit.
Like what it says it is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
I'll talk about that more in a minute for sure.
I'm going to wash my mouth out real quick with another beer.
Okay.
From False Idol Brewing. They're Deep in Thought.
Yep.
Doing triple IPA. Fucking delicious. It's 10.5% ABV. And I will continue drinking this one. Cool little glass they gave us down there.
Yeah.
Good shit. It's brewed with Mosaic, Vic Secret, Racal. I don't know how to say that. Okay, 2 hops that I have no clue, which is not focus, but whatever. Much better than the other one. I don't know what I would rate that first one. I feel kind of bad. I don't know that I've rated anything really low in a long time.
Well,
1.5. I don't know. It's not good. I don't know. And I normally wouldn't show them beer. It's because it's not that it's not my style. It's just fucking gross tasting. I don't get it. I can feel in my mouth after I drink that other fucking beer. I can still feel it on the back of my fucking tongue.
Yeah. Well, and I can tag in on that because I had that same beer while we were down there. I tried to have a little hair of the dog the next morning after we had been at several breweries Thursday. I tried to make myself feel a little better having a beer Friday morning. And man, I took like 2 drinks of it and I drain poured it. It was fucking gross. I didn't get anything close to those animal crackers out of it. I didn't get anything close to cookie flavor out of it. It just tasted like shitty old milk beer.
That's what that smell is. It's like, it's almost.
It's like curdled milk or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see that.
Yeah. It smelled nasty to me as well.
Yeah, they just made this shit too. Yeah, because it just came out like the day before.
Came out the day that we were there, or maybe the day before. Yeah.
Huh. Well.
Yeah.
What are you drinking?
Well, did you rate the other one, the false idol one?
Oh, 4.25 if I didn't. So
Okay.
I put it on tap. It's really good.
Yeah. I had that one on Saturday after we got back. That was one of my Saturday beers. I enjoyed it as well. So I kind of did the same thing. I've got 2 beers here, one of which is Martin House, and I expected to probably be disappointed based on my previous experiences with them that have all been in the last week. So I grabbed 2 beers because I wanted to drink something I would like as well. So I have a beer called Texas Trash, which I appropriately put in my Dallas Cowboys glass because they've been trash. Love them, but you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is a beer brewed with, it says it's a snack beer with Chex, Cheerios, pretzel sticks, pecans, salt, and spices. It is 8% alcohol by volume. It literally doesn't have a category for this beer on Untapped or on the label or anything. It's just other. And I know that you don't have to stick to this formula, but I generally expect a beer with that many adjuncts to be a stout. Maybe they would have had better luck with this being a stout. This, well, let me
look like again. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like kind of brown.
It almost looks the same. Well, no, yours is darker.
It's a little bit darker.
Darker.
It depends how much light you put through it too, but you know, it just kind of smells like salty, almost like ocean water.
Right on.
And the taste is like basically the same. I don't really taste anything discernible in there other than salt. And it's not good salt like the Sequence Ale or the Undertow from Heirloom. It's like if you've ever had like a jar of like peanuts or something and you've only got a few left and you kind of tilt the jar back and you accidentally get all that fucking sediment at the bottom of the jar. It reminds me of that, like a beer version of that. And it's gross. This shit is gross. And that's a phrase. We try to champion craft beer, not shit on it, right? But we also don't want to be dishonest to people. This number one isn't an Oklahoma brewery, so that makes it a little easier. It's a fucking hype brewery and all those beer groups. And I was very curious to go buy a bunch of their stuff and still have a couple in the fridge I haven't tried yet, partially out of being scared. But I will say, well, let me rate this real quick first. Fucking 0. It's nasty. And I would rate that other one a 0. Like,
I like the cookie can.
Like I wouldn't rate it 0 because like it's undrinkable, disgusting, whatever. I would rate it a 0 because it tastes nothing like what it says it's supposed to taste like, and it's not good. I just don't want it.
Yeah. And that one had a bunch of stuff. I wonder what causes, like, if you put a bunch of shit into it, just for all the flavor to go away.
Well, and this was something we used to rag about on the show a lot 4 years ago, 3 years ago, whatever. When you put that much shit in a beer, you put it on the label, you name it something that's supposed to evoke certain flavors. I should get those fucking flavors out of it, or you should get the fuck out. I don't know. I'm disappointed so far in most of the beer I've had from Martin House. The exception, I will say, I did have the best made pickle beer the other day.
Yeah. That
shit is straight up pickle juice.
Yeah, just too much.
Yeah. Now, I could not drink a lot of that. I had trouble finishing one 12-ounce can. If I had about 6 ounces, I think that would have been about right. But if you really, really love pickle juice, pickle flavor, I think you would really enjoy that beer. So I feel like that beer is well made. It tastes like what it's supposed to. keeping in mind, I like pickles. I don't like pickles that fucking much, but I like pickles. I'd rate that beer somewhere in the mid threes probably. But so I guess I just want to throw that out to say, like, I'm not necessarily saying that all of their shit is terrible, but 2 out of the 3 beers I've had from them at this point tasted nothing like what they say they're supposed to be, and just weren't good.
You had that wings one yet?
I have not tried that one yet. I'm kind of waiting to open that when I have other people around, because I feel like I should share that one, because if it's remotely buffalo wing flavor, I do not want to drink a whole 16-ounce can of that.
Can you imagine too that it has that consistency too? Like this is...
Yeah, so I think that one's going to be a share situation.
I love fucking wings, but I ain't trying to drink a motherfucking wing nonstop. Same thing with that pickle stuff. I had the same reaction to the pickle one. It's just too much to be able to drink a whole can or a whole thing. I'm glad. I think I only picked up like a can when we were down there in Texas before. Curious to try that spicy one. See what
they weren't selling the spicy one in single cans, and I wasn't willing to commit to 4 or 6 of them, whatever it was. Plus, I guess we could talk about this a little bit. There's some sort of ounces per person per day to go law, and so whatever number that was, I had apparently hit, and it was less than a case. So that was interesting. Or it may not have been less than a case if they were all 12 ounce, but some of them were 16 ounce. So, but the other beer I have is good. And it is from Turning Point Brewing, also in Texas, obviously. I said this beer name wrong about 400 times when we were there because I was drunk. It is not Stone Cold Stunner. It is Store Cold Stunner, which actually makes it better.
Right.
And no one ever corrected me. I said it to you. I put it online. I checked it in on Untapped.
I didn't see it online. I was drunk too, and I'm like, he's just saying the wrong word.
Oh yeah, it was in the stories. It was I was so drunk I didn't even notice it was an R instead of an N.
Good.
Yeah, but it's good. It's let's just read the label here. 8.2 alcohol by volume. That would be part of why I was saying it wrong. It's an IPA, double IPA with Citra, Idaho 7, and El Dorado hops. I've been a sucker for Citra for several years now, so not surprising that I really enjoy this one. I think I bought 2 4-packs of it, so yeah, good shit. And if I were rating that one, I want to give it a 316 just because, but I can't do that because it's better than that, so I got to go 416.
There we go. Yeah, that one's fucking good. I didn't see the can though, or if I did, I forgot.
Yeah, pretty funny.
Can't remember what I picked up from them. That's awesome. Now I will tell you, when we were there, I knew that it was Store Cold Stunner, but I didn't understand why it was called Store Cold at that point.
All right, so you weren't that much better than me.
No, I just saw the right word.
Oh man,
good times.
yeah, the poor people we'll talk about it more in a minute, I guess, but at our last stop, no one there, and our drunk ass show up.
Like those people showing up late before you're trying to close the store or something.
Sorry.
I don't know why I keep smelling that fucking beer. I think it's so intriguing. Really bad.
I can't decide if I'm gonna like drink this on the principle that it's sitting here and I don't want to go get another one, or
I'm worried that's gonna happen because I'm gonna drink the other one so much to offset that fucking taste.
Yeah, that's a good point. Anyway, yeah, so some shit's happened. Number one, this is episode 297, so we've only got 2 more episodes before we hit 300, and with that, if you pay attention to craft beer stuff online, you probably follow What the Ale, Tom Gilbert, Tulsa World, and or the Tulsa World scene, all that stuff. Posted the beer of the week yesterday, and it was our 300th beer with Broken Arrow Brewing Company. So the name of the beer, and if you're familiar with movie 300, this will hopefully get a chuckle. This isn't Sparta. It's an IPA coming in at about 7, I think he said 7.2 on the ABV scale. So it's not a lighter fare IPA. It's up there, which is what you would expect from Pub Talk, I think.
Of course.
I named off the hops last week, but it's got 5 different types of hops, and we're looking at releasing that here in the next couple of weeks, and we'll be up at Broken Arrow Brewing, at least for some of the festivities, depending on what day it happens. Probably at least in the evening if it's during the week, or maybe all day if it's a Saturday. Who knows? I can't do all day. But we're gonna have a couple dozen glasses and some stickers and things like that we'll give away to, first come first serve kind of deal the day the beer is released. And certainly we have some pretty cool stuff coming for episode 300. We'll talk about the process of making the beer. Hopefully we'll sit down with Joe, Tyler, Jared, some of the folks up there at Broken Arrow Brewing that helped with making the beer. Well, didn't help. We helped a little bit. They did most of it. But
they're in awe with a lot of the process.
And then we'll talk about some of our favorite memories and stuff to look forward to and that kind of stuff too. So that should be a fun special episode to look forward to it here in the next few weeks. And just stay tuned to our social media and Broken Arrow Brewing Company social media, and that release should be announced here pretty quick.
Right on.
For the video people, you can tell I'm already like several drinks into this IPA. It's fucking tasty.
I'm about to finish this bitch off.
Yep. And then I guess, we might as well just dive into our Texas trip, right? That was the main event of the last week or so for sure. There are so many breweries in the DFW area, and we got some pretty good suggestions from a lot of people, but unfortunately we're only able to hit up 5 breweries just because we were only there one day, and the stadium tour took up most of the second day, and the weather sucked the second day. So, but we did hit up 5 good breweries, and a few of them I had not been to before. I guess the only one I had been to before was Lakewood. But yeah, so we started the trip with, we went down I-35. So we stopped in Denton, and hit up Armadillo Oil Works. Obviously you're listening to this, good chance you're either from Tulsa or familiar with Tulsa craft beer. So, Dead Armadillo. Well, there's an Armadillo Oil Works too. Can safely tell you that Dead Armadillo is much, much better. But Armadillo Oil Works is a cool little tap room. That's a college town there in Denton. So they brew coffee, beer, obviously seltzer, and I think soda as well, if I saw correctly. They brew a ton of different stuff, and it was interesting because we were in there, I don't know, 11:30 in the morning as we were driving through. And so it wasn't super busy, but there were college kids cycling in and out with their laptops or their study books or whatever, grab a cup of coffee or whatever. And Michael and I are over here, 20 years or so past college age, drinking beer.
It's crazy they open up so early too.
Yeah, 8 a.m.
8 a.m.
Yeah. Shit. I didn't need to start drinking that early, the way that night ended. So
just hit the road even earlier. Just go there.
Oh God. Stay there for 4 hours. No.
Yeah.
Nothing against them. The cat working behind the bar was real friendly and everything, and it was a very nice ambiance, and the tap room was clean and inviting and all that. But I didn't particularly enjoy anything I drank there, to be honest.
Yeah. I'm trying to look and see what I drank.
It was kind of
no.
it wasn't that it was bad. It was just like, it was just kind of there, if that makes sense. It was just, it was like, it's almost like homebrew or, and that's a bad example because sometimes homebrew is amazing.
Yeah.
Um,
It was kind of bland. I mean, there weren't a lot of like,
there weren't a lot of flavors.
yeah, it was kind of bland, but
Then, yeah.
drinkable. I mean, I would like, I won't drink. I'm not going to finish this fucking beer right here.
Right.
Drink the beers that I have there because they were,
Right.
they were good enough.
Yeah.
I dug the arcades there, the old classic like arcade games there. I mean, it's a nice little spot. Big, not little. That tap room was pretty big.
Yeah, it's huge. Yeah.
Big.
Yeah. I mean, again, the beer was fine. It wasn't offensive. It was just like, it's not a place I would seek out driving through again. But if you happen to be in the Denton area specifically, it's worth checking out.
And props to them for having Black is Beautiful.
Yes.
We'll have some there with mesquite beans, which sounded like what, but still really cool. Cool that. Like seeing that. I fucked up because there was another place that had one while I was down there, and I didn't bring it home. Didn't you say there was a second place that had it?
We didn't go there.
Oh, okay. I've been like kicking myself. I'm like, fuck, I didn't get the other Black is Beautiful.
No, it was Denton County Brewing Company, and we didn't have time to get by there because of the weather.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I feel bad.
But yeah, so from there we did trek over to Martin House, who they're still doing some pretty strict COVID stuff, and they're only open for consumption on site certain hours, and then to go only the other hours. We were there during the to go hours. We just timing wise couldn't really make it happen because of distance from the other places we wanted to go, unless we went there during the to go hour. So that's where we picked up this beer that we just shat on, and some other beer.
That place might be interesting to go to when you can actually sit in there and try a bunch of their weird shit and not have to take stuff home.
Yeah.
Or like know what you are going to want to take home.
Agreed.
There's no way you're just going to go there and buy the whole fucking menu. And I mean, I guess you could. I guess maybe some people do that. No, you can't, because there was a limit on the ounces. So I would be interested in checking them out.
I would too.
Out the line at some point, just to try the beer inside.
Yeah.
More options.
Yeah, I agree. And their tap room was nice as well. It was just
it
was a little weird because it was like in a fucking office park, basically.
I don't get the parking situation in fucking Texas. It's fucking stupid. Someone explain that shit to me. There's like no fucking spots there, or there's
and that's not the only brewery that's that way there.
Yeah, weird.
But I don't know. I mean, we didn't do a lot at Martin House, so there's not a lot to talk about there. But so I think from there we went to False Idol Brewing, which was do what?
This is my favorite spot. My favorite from down there.
Yeah. As far as what we had on this trip, I would agree with that. Yeah. But yeah, they're also a little office park, but they at least had a parking lot that you could use. They had several good IPAs. They had a good stout. Folks there were friendly as well. It seemed like that was probably kind of a neighborhood stop. There was a lot of people coming in. It looked like they just, walked in after work or stuff like that. Like they were very familiar with the place and very familiar with the folks that were working there. And it was a nice vibe.
I love the brewing equipment being right there.
Yeah.
Like, right there.
Pretty smells.
Yeah. Awesome beer. Been looking at going to that one for a while because knew there was someone, someone had went down there that worked in the beer scene up here, so intrigued in checking out that place for that reason. And then it was awesome. Lived up to everything for me. It's really, really fucking good. That fucking Tango to Tango. First, when he poured it, looked fucking delicious. When he damn near eat the glass with the beer in it, and it tasted just as good. All the beer was good there.
Yeah, I didn't get to try that one. I wish I would have, but they didn't have it to go, and I already had enough. And I say that even though we're about to talk about two more stops. After False Idol, we went over to Turning Point, and man, I really enjoyed their beer, but I think because their tap room maybe wasn't quite as nice, it didn't quite match up to False Idol for me. Like if their tap room had been as welcoming and nice as False Idol, it would have been hard for me to discern from the two, which I liked better. But I don't like the park bench situation.
Agreed.
But the beer was good. The beer was great, actually. I mean, I was raving about this Store Cold Stunner earlier, and they also had a beer that they did with Stone Cloud that was available on a West Coast or an East Coast variant, an IPA, and both were fucking awesome.
Yeah. Until I started doing kind of good checking stuff on tap. I thought I was going to follow along here and what I tried there, but I only put that I tried the Store Cold Stunner there. And I know that's not true.
I know you had a peanut butter jelly beer.
Cool.
I have cans of it that I haven't tried yet. That's why I know you had it, because you said it was good and I should get some.
Sweet. My memory sucks. Yeah. Don't remember that at all. Remember getting to only try one of the variations of the collab beer. But yeah, awesome,
I remember asking them ridiculous questions after my experience with the ounces per day thing. Like, can you give me 2 beers at once? Are you allowed to do that? Yeah, guy with dick on his forehead. Not literally. They were looking at me like I had a dick on my forehead.
Good times though.
Yeah.
Was that the one that was that the one that it was like in an old retail store?
Yeah.
That one? Okay.
Felt like it was in an old Big Lots or fucking Kmart or something. It was cool though. I mean, they were playing a ton of old rap, which sign me up.
People should definitely check that place out.
Yeah, for sure. Well, and we were turned on to that brewery from their appearance at the Craft Beer Summit in 2019 in Oklahoma City. So,
good shit.
Yeah. But yeah, so so then our dumbasses decided it'd be a good idea to trek all the way across DFW in a lift to Lakewood Brewing Company out on the east side of town. And that was solely because we had been down there in November and loved it. And because we were hungry as hell and knew they had a food truck.
Had a food truck.
Past tense, that shit's gone now. It's so wild.
Fucking crazy. That food was awesome.
Yeah, the food there was amazing. Kitchen to Kitchen, I think it was called. Really good. I don't know what's going on, why they pulled them out in the last couple of days, but I hope they make a comeback somewhere.
Good shit. Great.
But yeah, I mean, Lakewood's cool, man. If possible, we'll go down there every time I'm in the area going forward, because they always have a new Temptress, their stout variation that I want to try, want to buy, yeah, just a cool environment. And because it was a Thursday night at 8 something, and it was overcast, there just weren't a lot of folks out. So I think we ended up that beer garden to ourselves for all but the last few minutes, which was cool. Yeah. I will say to whoever named their beers, and I don't think this was Lakewood's beer, it was or cider, it was some other company that they just had there. Side Boob, come on, buddy. CIDE Boob, yeah, come on. I had to say that fucking name to like a 25-year-old girl working the counter there, because it was Side Boob with watermelon.
I forgot about that until right now. That's awesome.
Yeah, come on. Shit.
This will be funny.
I mean, it's kind of funny, don't get me wrong, but it's very uncomfortable for a married 38-year-old man to walk up to a tiny 20-something-year-old girl working the bar. Can I get the side boob?
God damn, it's gonna be horrible for them too.
And I apologized to her before I said it. I was like, I'm so sorry I have to say this to you. And she's like, yeah, it happens a lot.
Yeah, love that place. People work there are always awesome, or have been awesome the last 2 times we went. Like I said, the food was good. drunk ass ordered twice the food because I thought I'd take some back to the hotel and decided to eat it all right there. But God damn it, I like wings.
Hey, chicken's good. The fries were awesome too. All
Yeah, they were.
Yeah.
All of it.
Yeah.
Everything involved. Just again, what the fuck's up with the parking? Someone help us out there.
I was glad we were on the lift. We didn't screw with that.
Yeah. Is there like secret Texas parking that we don't fucking know about? They don't tell Oklahoma people about?
Yeah. Everything's bigger in Texas except the fucking parking lots. But yeah, that was it for the beer. That was plenty. That was plenty. So the next morning we got up and did the Dallas Cowboys stadium tour. I'm sorry, AT&T Stadium. And I had done that before 11 years ago, and it was almost exactly the same. So I don't have fresh impressions of that other than like it is always cool to get out on the field and kind of run around and see the little pieces of tire kicking up at your feet. And the only thing I'll say is turn the goddamn air conditioner on in that building.
Yeah, it got a little hot. I love that we started the tour and she's like, okay, so we've only got 2 Cowboys fans here.
Yeah, you and I, yeah.
People were in Cowboys gear. I was surprised by how many non-Cowboys, like legitimate non-Cowboys fans were there.
Well, it makes sense though, because if I visited like Atlanta or wherever, I might do a stadium tour of one of those.
I would now.
Stadiums.
Yeah, sure. Because it was awesome getting to see those side parts that you don't get to see normally. Probably my favorite part was getting to go into the Cowboys locker room, the actual like the players locker room, seeing how all that shit's set up and their little places. And
then Sean Lee retired yesterday, so that locker's no longer.
And I got a picture of it. It's one of my
favorite.
I did too. It just sucks that he got injured so much in his career.
Yeah.
Good dude. Good captain that we lost. Yeah. It happens. But yeah, the tour was fucking. It was just fucking awesome, man. I've never been on the field. It was on the field in the New Orleans stadium because of fucking Katrina, but that smelled like fucking death. So it was nice to be on the field for a team I actually enjoy and be by the star on the field and going through the tunnel that they actually come out of with that big fucking star. Just all of it was fucking. It was cool to get to see all of it. The fucking elevator was fucking weird though. Fucking cramming that bitch Saw movie and having to go fucking somewhere. Go down, up and down.
Yeah, using their freight elevators. I had forgotten about that, so it didn't weird me out when it happened because I knew that happened last time too. But I definitely had a moment where I was like, I'm glad I've had my vaccinations because holy shit, we're getting friendly up in here.
Tighten that bitch. But no, man, it was fucking awesome. And then I had to go look for my fucking the most expensive drunken purchase that I've ever made. A fucking $500 brick that was outside that building. Was fun to try to find because they had shit blocked off and finally found it. But I don't know. It was awesome. Awesome to get to see that. To go inside. I've got to see a game there.
Yeah.
I've seen a few games at Texas Stadium, but none at this one.
Yeah. Yeah, and then that was kind of it. We stopped at Buc-ee's on the way out of town, which was my first time. Bought Belching Beaver beer there. I forgot they were distributing to Texas, so
Bought the variety fudge because Ashley likes that because we take family trips to Texas. That's a place to stop. But boy, as soon as Amelia saw that fucking box, she's a little fucking fudge demon. Had no idea. Kept trying to sneak in there and steal all of it. Ashley came and looked at the box. She's like, I've only had like 2 pieces. And it was like damn near gone. Like today, I'm like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah, I think you know what happened.
Yeah. Someone likes fudge. Surprise, surprise. It likes fudge.
What a shock.
But yeah, it's always a trip going into that place because it's like nothing else in the world. Not in the world, but nothing else I've experienced like that.
Well, it reminded me a lot of, it reminded me of like a Walmart Cracker Barrel gift shop hybrid.
Okay.
Like not the big super Walmarts, but the old school smaller Walmarts.
No, yeah, for sure.
And that the clientele reinforced that. Just saying. Yeah, highly, highly, highly recommend Lakewood, Turning Point, and False Idol if you're in the area.
Sure. Now, Fall Bottom might be one of those places I don't know. I don't want to get their beer more. Felt the same way when I left Lakewood. Like, I know I want to go back there to get their BBT and their Tempters and stuff. There were several like that at False Idol that I look forward to getting again.
Yeah.
Good times.
Sucks they're on the fucking opposite side of Dallas, but
That shit, I don't even understand all that shit. There's so many little weird towns around that fucking place.
east side, west side.
And then I was in one of those Dallas craft beer groups the other day, and someone was asking again for, recommendations for Dallas breweries, and people started going, and there were people just being shitty in those comments. That's not fucking Dallas. That's North, blah, blah, blah. And that's not Dallas. I can tell you're not from here. And I was like, Jesus fucking Christ. So the guy edited DFW area.
That's how you got to do it. Yeah. Or North Texas. Because then you get into like 903 and Tubbs and stuff, and people split hairs about that. Yeah. What else we had going on since we recorded last week?
I don't think there's been a whole lot. They did finally announce a fucking beer festival. They at least announced it. There's no fucking details really, but they've announced that one's happening June 26th. Oklahoma Brewers Fest. And it's going to be at the Chickasaw Bricktown Ballpark. So keep an eye out on the CBAO, Craft Brewers of Oklahoma, whatever, their page for more details. Don't the enthusiasts get something? I thought I read that earlier.
You get early access to tickets, maybe.
Is that what it is?
I can't remember.
But that's cool. There's a fucking festival at the end of June, which shit should be much better, much better by then, you would hope. I was talking to Ashley earlier about that. I was like, that, because that's right around her fucking birthday too. Her birthday's the 29th. It's like, that should just be something. Just fucking get a hotel down there and go to that fucking, because it's in the evening and first festival back.
I'll be very jealous of you, because I
oh yeah, that's like
I'll have a kid that's month or so old at that point. I'll be tethered to Tulsa.
Oh yeah.
Although speaking of Tulsa, there's also a festival coming in Tulsa. Well, there are two. We talked about TCBI September 11th last episode, but the Conservation on Tap at the Tulsa Zoo is going on the first Friday of June. I think that's the 4th.
Really?
Yeah. So that's another one I'm gonna have to miss because of the kid being born around then. But definitely people should check that out. I've gone 2 or 3 times over the years, and that's always been one of my favorites.
I've never been able to make it because of work or other bullshit. So are they doing tickets for it yet?
Yeah, I think they are. I just saw it on Facebook in the last day or two.
I'm not gonna remember that, so I'm gonna write that. Okay, awesome.
And other than that, I mean, I know by the time people hear this, it's sold out anyway. There's a good chance it'll be going on or over, but Nothing's Left is doing their semi-festival. Their Brain Freeze Fest is Saturday. There are 2 sessions. We're going to the early session. I'm not sure how much slushy I'm going to drink, but I'm damn well going to drink a lot of their beer. They're closing down that street over there. Should just be a good time.
Yeah. And I have no other notes. I look forward to that, though. I haven't had any other slushy beers this year so far. Finally get to try that. I know Ashley's going to go. And she's finally double vaxxed too. Well, she was cool. Pfizer. She was fine. Yeah. Other than she was tired as fuck.
Kind of the same stuff you and I went through. Yeah.
I'm tired, slight headache. She was good. So apparently Nerna puts that shit in their shit to fuck you up.
All right. Well, if there's nothing else, I guess that's going to do it for this episode of Pub Talk. Michael, close this motherfucker down.
You've just listened to another round of Pub Talk. That's not the right one. I was going to thank Dave and Matt for joining us today.
I don't even look at anything for the outro anymore.
Hey, good for you. Check out the Big Brain on Brett. If you like what you heard today, show us some love on social media at Pub Talk Podcast. And to continue getting alerts every time we drop an episode, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button before you go. You can also find out all you've ever wanted to know about the show and more by heading over to pubtalkpodcast.com. And remember, folks, there's never anything too big or hard in life that you can't handle it over a few beers with your good friends. So until next time, just chill for the next episode. Can't do it.
Cowboys? Oh.
Yes, please.
I just...